Hi, besties. Welcome to the podcast where we're all friends because we love all things Bravo, pop culture, and can't stop talking
Having
about
so much fun.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Bravo should be fun.
I'm Caitlin Marshall, your host here at Besties by Bravo. Allegedly allegations, where we're in a safe space to gossip, share our thoughts, and opinions.
That girl's a liar. That girl's a liar.
About the Bravo celebrities, shows, and celebs we love, hate, and
that's when
love
Chef
to
goes,
hate.
Oh, suddenly now you're so religious?
So be cool. Don't be all uncool.
He went on a podcast claiming he had a threesome with two women from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Immediately, I was like, I wonder if it's Brandy and Carlton.
Because sometimes things may get a little, well, ridiculous.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. There's a spider that is coming down. Hold on. Ah! Oh my God!
It's like the Blair Witch Project or something. All you can hear in the background is, oh my God, has anybody seen my ring?
Oh my God.
I don't want to ruin the party or anything.
Have you seen my ring? Oh my God, can you look on the floor for my ring? God, someone's gonna kill me.
Don't mess with me because I will come.
What? Oh.
Feel free to leave that in for whatever entertainment purposes.
I'm so glad you're here to enjoy the fun. So, thank you for joining me on Besties by Bravo. Hi, besties. Thank you for joining today. I have Jessie Nails, the reality witch, joining me to talk about all the Bravo-ness that's been going on. Hi, Jessie.
Hi. I'm so excited to be back. Excited to talk.
That we will do because
Yes.
it has been nonstop. And I feel like I say that every week, every single week. But my
It's a lot
God.
right now.
Y'all, it is a lot. I mean, we have the part one of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion tonight. I am working on, and now if you're in the Denver area, getting together some watch parties, talking with the Real Housewives of Politics account and working within their network. But I need some of you people who have the bars I contacted to get back to me. Thank you very much. We want to just ooh, ah, yell, scream at the greatest franchise finale in history and see the reunion with our people. You know what I mean?
I'm so excited for that. It's going to be so juicy. I'm worried. I don't know how you're going to talk about anything other than Monica for 3 reunions. I'm sure they're going to have to figure it out. But yeah, it's going to be wild.
Wild indeed.
Her dramatic entrance down the steps onto the stage. Like, come on.
Like, come on.
Mhm.
It's gonna be so good. I saw that they released, an early preview of it, and there's a portion where Andy Cohen is doing his impression of Meredith Marks with the rumors and the nastiness. And I was like, yes, Andy, get it. Please.
Mhm.
Come do a little impression off here on the podcast, Andy. That's your invitation. I'm sure
Yeah.
this will reach you.
Definitely. He'll
Have your
be
people
on
call
next
mine.
week.
Yeah, next week. Sure. Let's chat about the gossip that's been happening. Because it's not only just been Monica and Tanisha. The Trace Amigas are no more. It's the Dos Amigas. Shannon and Vicky have departed from dear old Tamra, and they're going on their own tour while Tamra is doing one, it looks like with Teddy, of course, and Emily Simpson.
I am surprised by them falling apart. I don't love that we're going to see Teddy even more. Like, I'm already mad at Tamra for doing this podcast with Teddy, and now she's going to be traveling with Teddy. Like, come
See,
on.
I love Emily.
Seems a little, yeah, I like Emily. Seems random though, maybe not, but
They really did reconnect the last season, so we're gonna see how that goes. This one you're gonna love. Did you see? Now I know you're a tree hugger. Joe Gorga was kicked out of his son's wrestling match for
Dude,
going at it with the ref.
we all know this dad. It's really funny. It really kicked up a lot of memories for me because growing up playing basketball in grade school,
East Coast. Uh-huh.
my best friend's dad got kicked out of a basketball game. I mean, we're like in 6th grade, like 7th grade, and he would just be screaming and he got kicked out. And it's like, there's nothing more embarrassing for a 12-year-old than to have your dad get kicked out of a nothing sporting event for your school.
Wrestling too. Supposedly the opponent of Gino who pinned Gino got up and stuck his tongue out at Joe, and
Come on.
and allegedly that's what finally set him off out of this.
That's what set him off. Oh my God. I saw the video. I didn't hear the details, but that makes it even more ridiculous and hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm not knocking wrestling. Now, is that necessarily a sport I'm going to go sit in the bleachers for? No, not really.
I don't think so. Yeah.
I mean, it's like, Joe, this isn't Pee Wee baseball. I thought we outgrew that stage.
And he was very like aggressive. He was like running out there, had to be held back. I'm like, dude, come on. Like, this isn't like professional.
I mean, as a parent, this is the one thing I would not be able to watch my kid playing any type of contact sport at all without like losing my mind. Like, don't touch him. Get your hands off my baby.
I know. That's like the hard part.
25 and I'd be that way.
Only like positive potentially is that like maybe it's an outlet for any Joe Gorga rage that could be living in baby Gino. So
yeah. No, that's fair.
It's a healthy way to get it out. But
yeah. Maybe Joe needs to find his own. I don't know, a middle-aged men's softball league. That could do it, right?
Wild though. Like, get it together, dude.
It's a lot. Yeah. So then, oh man. Okay, Anne Marie Wiley. I don't want to dislike her. Does that make sense? I don't want to dislike her, but I just do. She ended up calling Dr. Nicole Martin from The Real Housewives of Miami a clout chaser because she had been tagged multiple times about Anne Marie not shutting up about Sutton's esophagus. Like, who cares about Sutton's esophagus? Jessie, I know it keeps you up at night. Sutton's esophagus.
I mean, I've been thinking about it since the first episode talked about it, so I get it.
Yeah. But I mean,
I don't get
she's
it.
an
Like, I mean,
anesthesiologist. That's why people tagged her.
Right. And like, it's alarming that she's in the medical field and not only like continuously talking about someone's medical condition that they're talking about, but then like, I'm confused because this is something that happens to people. Like, she's acting like having a small esophagus is like impossible. And but it's not. Like, you can have scarring in your esophagus, you could have constrict. Like, it is like whether Sutton's eating is caused by something else, like I don't know, but like if you're just talking about the esophagus, like it is a thing. So as a doctor, why is she so obsessed
She's not
with
even
it?
a doctor though. I shouldn't say it that way. Oh my God, don't kill me. She's not a doctor. I believe she's an NP, if I'm not mistaken, or a CRNA.
I was hearing mixed reviews about that too, because she's an anesthesiologist, but then like it came out that she's not a full-blown anesthesiologist.
Anesthetist. So she's the nurse, a nurse for anesthesiology. It's still, she plays an important role. However, it's just bizarre. It makes it clear that we have literally seen Sutton's matchmaker on Beverly Hills more than we've even seen Anne Marie, and she's holding a diamond, for crying out loud. So she has nothing that she's adding except for when she goes after Crystal eventually. And I mean, she wasn't even at Taco Tuesday. Fine, girl, you had your Hawaiian trip planned. Do what you do. But you want to be on the show, you got to show up. Reschedule the vacay.
Yeah, and it's like her comment, like that she's leaving now, again, like, oh, Dr. Nicole's a clout chaser coming after Dr. Tiffany Moon. It's like, you are watching the show. You can see the fans are like, what is wrong with you? You're
Yeah.
barely on any episode, and then you're calling everyone else a clout chaser. Like, it's your first season, and like you're being ridiculous. I don't like her. I'm assuming she's not going to come back because she's made some inappropriate comments.
Yeah, I would be surprised if she does.
Yeah. So, but she's making it easy to not like her. Let's just say that.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Then, okay. I want everyone to be aware of this who has been talking all the shit on Ariana not moving out of the goddamn house with Tom Sandoval. Okay. She is suing him for a partition by sale, which is basically she just wants a judge to order them to sell the house and divide the proceeds. That's it. She wants out. She doesn't want she doesn't want Tom to be able to sell to a third party and gain a different type of proceeds from that. She just wants to get this over with. Plus, she's in New York for most of the time, I would imagine now, because her run as Roxy Hart in Chicago on Broadway, which I had some questionable people misunderstand me when I said Ariana was going to be in Chicago, the musical. They were like,
Get
oh
it
my
right,
God.
Caitlin.
They were so ready to people love coming in the comments being like, you're wrong. Actually, it's this. And so they were like, I'm going to type on here. It's not Chicago. She's going to be in New York. Yes, dumbass. I know. I'm sorry. It's still that's been a hook in my little craw for a minute there where I'm like, are you okay?
Oh, no, I mean, they'll come after you if they think that. So you just gotta, at least you can prove them wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is very normal. I don't know why people were coming after her. I mean, is it awkward and uncomfortable to still be in the same house? Yeah. But I wouldn't leave that house either. He's the one being crazy. You buy a house together, you're under the agreement or understanding, even if you were married and get divorced, either someone gets the house and that's written out and you get paid out by that person, and that is usually a lot of money that you have to pay somebody to leave the house, or you sell it and you split it. This isn't new. This isn't something crazy Ariana's doing. This is what people have to do when they buy a property together and it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
He's the insane one.
Agreed. I think that goes without question.
Yeah.
Really.
It's wild to me. It's still I can't believe that they still communicate via assistant. It is so insane.
Honestly, it's wild to me that Tom Sandoval even needs an assistant, but hey, do you.
True.
On top of that, our VPR girlies did not take the Emmy home. So sad.
Oh, yeah.
But they were nominated.
It was exciting that they were nominated.
I think it validates.
Who ended up winning instead of them? Do we know?
I don't remember. I just knew that they didn't win. So
I don't know.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Clearly, I did my research after I found out.
I just looked at photos and clips of the red carpet.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Hey, you know what? I thought Ariana looked incredible. Whoever is styling her, ooh, girl.
Yeah. She looks good.
It is hitting. Should we just talk about this Rachel Goes Rogue while we're on the VPR topic? Chapter 1. Yeah. Chapter 1, aka episode 1 of Rachel Goes Rogue. Now, I made a TikTok video on this and I was able to sum it up in 3.5 minutes. So we'll see how we do, because I do want to know your thoughts as well, though. I have to be honest, it is helpful to listen to it at 1.5 speed. In case you guys were wondering. Sorry.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
No.
The intro, the mini clip we got, in my opinion, was 10 times worse than I don't know why. Her voice and her cadence wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I think I'll be able to listen to it all the time. No, but it was also very dramatic. There's a lot of deep breaths that she was taking.
She's not used to it. She's not used to it, which, listen, I will say this. I don't want to just sit here and shred her apart, because I think she's been pretty well punished, if you ask me. I do, however, have... So, okay, let's start here. She had her producers from iHeart in the room with her, and I guess she had been very nervous to even do this podcast, and she'd been considering backing out like the day before. And they were there to very much be supportive of her. And hey, that's can't knock that. All right.
Mhm.
You know, what I'm wondering is where we're gonna go once the season 11 starts of Vanderpump Rules, and once she really has to talk about something that's not just Vanderpump Rules or
Yeah.
her exes related. She really just gave us the same rundown she gave us previously about what went down with Graham, and I'm just going to summarize it as Graham had a biting problem. He was possessive. He'd always had a biting problem, and when she went to the Meadows for treatment, she left Graham with her parents, and Graham allegedly bit her mom's finger so hard that she couldn't even get it stitched up. That's when her parents were like, okay, no, this isn't safe. And I do want to say this. If there is an animal in your home that it's not safe for the animal, for your family, you do have to make certain decisions, and that I do understand. And it sounds like she tried to make the right decision because it came down to her either leaving her treatment early or finding a rescue for Graham. She did. She didn't dump him off and I'm just going to go off of the story that we have been told. Okay. There's only so much I can verify here. She found a golden doodle rescue, took him there. It wasn't some kill shelter like we all were thinking. It was one of those types of situations. Multiple different trainers tried to get him taken care of. He was fostered out, and the foster returned him. And it was when the foster returned him and they said, we need more money to pay for a trainer. They scanned the chip on Graham, saw his name. So they reached out to Lisa Vanderpump basically to ask for money. And Lisa said, oh, darling, I'll take the dog. I'll take little Graham Cracker. He could live on my ranch if Jamesy Poo doesn't want to take him. You could call Villa Rosa a ranch. That's, it's bigger
Yeah,
than
she was like, Lisa doesn't have a ranch. Like, pretty much does. Like, she has
Close enough.
giant property with mini horses and 100 dogs. So,
Mhm.
Look, the rescue kind of sounds like trash the way they handled it. I also
Agreed.
was a little confused when she was like, oh, like I needed to give them more money or something for another trainer. And I'm not saying she's lying. I believe her because
I found
it was
that
just
odd
so confusing to me. I'm like, isn't the whole point of a rescue is you kind of like give the dog away, you wipe your hands, and they now rescue the dog. Like they tried to like make it like a little bit better behaviorally, try to find a foster or adoptive home. Like, so that was weird to me.
Mhm.
I did in general just find like, do feel like she's still just blaming everyone else. Like she knows, like she knows what she did was wrong. Like that is clear, but it's just constant. Like, oh, I'm not going back on the show, mostly because of Tom. But then like, well, I just know those girls never talk to me because they never liked me to begin with. And it's like, should they like you? Like,
Yeah, have you given them much reason?
right. It's like, and then I don't know. She was kind of like, look, I get if James is a good dog parent that's what she's insinuating. But then like, I don't really think she's saying Lisa Vanderpump's about the storyline. Like, oh, she just took in Graham because of the storyline and it's going to be great for TV. And like, just like little things like that. I'm like, we don't know if that's true. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. And also Lisa is a producer. Like,
yeah.
I mean, she kind of, it would not surprise me one bit though if Lisa were like, hey, I have an idea. We'll get her back this way. We do have a question from Ellis here. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, regarding Ariana suing Tom regarding the house. So my understanding is this would not be, and let me finish reading this. I'm sorry. Hi, ladies. I have a question about the Tom and Ariana lawsuit. Isn't this against their contract? I mean, for the housewives it is, but maybe for other franchises it's not. I would say this would not fall under what is in their contracts about suing each other. They can't sue each other for libel. They can't sue each other for defamation for what is said on the show. This is something completely different. It would be like saying that two cast members who got married can't sue the other regarding divorce proceedings. So that's where I would say this is a safe zone. I mean, this is something completely out of the realm of the actual show, and it has nothing to do with those previous things I mentioned, like defamation and libel. So
That makes
just to
sense.
answer that question. Yeah, that was my.
So not to like totally go back into like the Scandival thing, but
Yeah,
and I could have
please
just
do.
forgot about this or missed it because there was so much going on. I found her story of the night they first kissed to be wild. She made it seem like they were just best at 7 p.m. They're besties. They're having a drink together at Sir, and then by 11 p.m. they're making out, and it's like I was like, wait a second. Like I thought there was more going on, like flirty before. She made it sound like this all happened in a 5-hour period between
Yes, she
friendship
did.
to falling in love. That's when I was like, that doesn't sound right. Like what?
Yeah, I mean, there are some people it can work that way for, in a sense where there's enough underlying tension, I will say. But usually those two people are single, and that makes it an easier transition for it to be in that 5-hour period. But remind y'all that Sandoval was not single. And it also was so odd because, and I'll relay the story for those of you who didn't listen to this or see
Yeah.
my
Sorry.
explanation on TikTok. No, you're fine. I know it's sometimes I can just go off and forget, oh, maybe people need to be informed about that. So here is Rachel's version of events after it was brought up what Tom said about her on his podcast, where he said that she made the first move on him, which, by the way, she said when she heard his podcast for the first time and heard him saying all of that, she was so repulsed by the mere sound of his voice. And I was like, girlfriend, welcome to the club. We've been here for a while.
Physically ill.
Yeah, like physically ill. She was disgusted. So what happened, according to her version of events, was that they had been at Sir. She was having her talk with Lisa on camera, filming, basically just downloading her on everything that happened from the girls' trip to Vegas, being empowering for herself, saying, I'm not going to let these girls get me down. Tom, she alleges, knew she was going to be filming at Sir doing this. Then she wanted to go with the rest of the cast somewhere named Beaches. And he said, no, let's go to the Abbey. They went to the Abbey where Ale spotted them. Okay. So then she was too drunk to drive, clearly. And he says, I'll drive you back. And they drive over to his house, as in he and Ariana's home. They are in the car sitting and talking for a while. And he says, do you want to come in for a nightcap? Again, this is her version of events. They go up to the door. And as we all recall, he was locked out. So they go around the back. He's still locked out. He says to her, well, let's sit at the fire pit here and talk. Then after talking for a while, he says to her, you know what the best thing about our pool is? It's heated. And she's like,
so stupid.
Okay. So they get down just allegedly to their underwear and start swimming. All right. And they're swimming for a little bit. He grabs her, twirls her, and kisses her. Then he gets out and he's like, oh my God, dude, I don't know. I just like need to think, dude. And so they go and sit by the fire pit and continue talking. This is what was odd to me. This is the moment that Rachel felt so awkward with Ariana sleeping up there. Maybe not while she was swimming in the pool in her underwear with her boyfriend. No, it was awkward to sit there and talk to him only after you'd done that and kissed him. So they go out to his car in the front of the home. And that's when they have sex. That's her story.
Right. But then I swear, when she has told this story other times, like on the read or whatever, it's like he was flirting with her for like weeks or months leading up to that. And like he made her feel really confident, feel really good. But then on her podcast, she made it seem like it was just this quick whirlwind experience. And like, I wasn't buying that. It just is like the weirdest story ever.
Both versions of it is bizarre. And it's almost like they still decided they were going to agree to a specific story and still never deviate from it, even if they like completely are done with each other. And she, was so swept off her feet by it all.
The producers are going to have to like reel it in a little bit. Like, I do think she needs someone to like guide her and ask her questions, but like, I don't like acting like they have no idea what's going on. At one point, they're like, anyone ever tell you you're really guarded? And she's like, yeah. Like, come on.
Oh my God.
Like,
yeah. What are you, a psychic, an astrologer?
Right. Like, she was just in treatment for months. I'm sure they told her a lot of things. And like, we don't need to hear it from the producers at iHeartRadio. Like,
for real though.
And they're like acting shocked. They're like, oh my God.
You're so guarded.
I'm like, get out of here.
And really, the only other thing is she says she doesn't want her podcast to be all about Vanderpump Rules, especially when the new season comes out. But girlfriend, what are you going to talk about?
Yeah, I don't know what she like. I'm really sorry. This sounds insensitive. I can only hear about her social anxiety, and that's why she did pageants and went into VPR. I can only hear. Actually, I can't hear it again because I've heard it 100 times.
I'm done.
So like, so like,
Mhm.
even when you think about her potentially going to like maybe like a mental health avenue on her podcast, I just can't visualize it. Like, I feel like she's probably either just going to keep talking about VPR and then it's just going to dissolve, or I don't know.
I mean, yeah. And it's like I said, we're not actually trying to continue putting her down. It's just realistically, we have to be honest about it. And I don't know. It was her first one. I'm going to give her a few chances here.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm going to listen for all of you besties. You don't have to. If you don't want
Caitlin's
to.
for the team.
Yep. Doing the Lord's work, honey. Should we jump into the Southern Charm finale?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Ugh.
Okay. Southern Charm, the land of Charleston, where the men are douchebags.
The rage I feel with Boston. Like I can't even, it's not even like fun rage for me anymore. And then I get more mad thinking about the women that just still like spoon after him. And like, he's not even that, like he needs to be way hotter to be acting the way he's acting, I guess.
I want everyone to imagine him at JT's height, and which is 5'8".
Yeah.
And I want everyone to imagine JT at Austin's height, 6'5". Guess who would actually be getting the girl? Not Austin.
No.
That is why it's like, dude, you are tall. That is it. And you know what? The taller a person is, the shorter their lifespan is, Austin. The statistics are there. It's science. Look it up. I didn't pull that out of, Okay. So Whitney's throwing his Valley of the Dolls party, right? Did it make you kind of sad too that he renovated Michael's carriage house into his pub? I was like, oh, poor Michael.
When he mentioned doing this like a few episodes ago, I was so depressed. I was like, oh, this is home. I was like crying the episode. They FaceTimed Michael. I was like, this is so sad. I mean, I'm glad he's doing well. And it seems like they went to go see him. But yeah, him like renovating the carriage house was really sad.
Yeah, we do. Like, I've heard that Michael is doing well with his family in Florida, which is all we can hope for. No more making martinis.
I'm fascinated, not to totally change the subject. I am so fascinated, like the butler life, like, and how she just keeps being able to find new butlers.
Where?
Where's the school? What kind of man go into butler school? I mean, obviously you just love serving people, which is great. Like there are people out there like that, but like, once she lost Michael, I was like, oh man, she's going to have to really start doing stuff for herself.
Yeah. No, she has Whitney. Like, is there a care.com for butlers? Someone answer that for me.
Yeah, there has to be something.
So before we jump into the rest of this, Adam has a quick question for us. I thought if a cast member gets physical with another cast member, they are supposed to be kicked off. Well, that's... No.
I'm sure you're supposed to. Supposed to.
What is the reality show that typically happens on like The Bachelor or
MTV?
Love
like
Island?
It's pretty strict about it. Like The Real World, like all those are super strict.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Sandoval punched Jack's in the face where he was bleeding and he didn't get kicked off. I think it also depends on the type of physical violence. Monique and Candace, we've got a lot of, not Phaedra, oh my gosh, trying to jump from franchise to franchise is really not that easy for me. Portia and Kenya, even though, Kenya pressed charges against Portia, they have different protocols for things, I would assume. So
it probably depends on like the reaction of the other person too. Like I mean, JT doesn't really have like a leg to stand on quite yet because he's so new. But I'm sure if someone was like, if they're like, I'm not going to film if he comes back, like that probably goes into it as well. But I'm
not
sure
a leg, but a bar stool.
Yeah.
A little step up stool. No, I'm not making fun of JT's height because I don't think he's all that short. 5'8" is not as short as y'all think.
Yeah, that's like pretty. I mean, it's like my height.
Yeah,
He's
you're
just
tall.
not a giant. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So Olivia goes to talk to Leva about how she understands she's inconsistent with Austin. And it sounds like Olivia's like blaming herself for the issue she's having with Austin. But just like Leva also says, she's giving too much energy when she has all this shit she's going through.
Mhm.
Don't give that little boy a semblance of your energy. I know a lot of people tend to be like, oh, Leva, she's boring or she's not on here enough. No, you need someone like Leva on the show to, well, level it out. You need someone who's not going to be just sitting there like Taylor would have been had all that not happen. Like,
Oh, but he loves you. Olivia.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, if I don't think if she would have had that conversation with Olivia, like a bowl went off in Olivia's head. Like, oh, you're right.
Mhm.
Like I'm going through a lot, and Austin's inconsistent with her. He's like, oh, let's bond over our trauma that we have. And then in the next scene, when everyone's together, he's an asshole. Like
Mhm.
he's like inconsistent one, and it's like making her like crazy and also inconsistent. Like it's not that this whole thing is like I get really annoyed when people are going after Olivia, which a lot of people are. And I'm
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
this is like she's like classic just being like gaslit by this person every 5 minutes.
Because here's the thing, like there are so many pushes and pulls in so many directions, but at the end of the day, it's always Taylor saying something stupid to try and
Mhm.
rile up Shep that even if I have a moment where I feel bad for how much she's taking on just because I have empathy for someone getting piled onto, it goes away because she can't, like, she will stop at no cost to get to Shep. And it's like,
Yeah.
why? He doesn't
It's like she'll
want
do anything.
you.
Yeah, and she'll do anything, which she pretty much did. Like she'll hook up with all of his friends. It doesn't matter who's in the way or who else she'll hurt in the process. She's nuts. I can't stand her. I don't care like what she's like. I know she went through a breakup, but like it's a breakup with someone that you probably knew you had to break up with a year before you did. And you're losing your mind and you're being terrible to everybody. And like what she does, like I guess not even behind the scenes because it's all on camera, but it's almost like what she does and what she says when she's not in the giant group of people is really like telling. And it's awful. Like what she said to her brother on the phone about Olivia and Austin, like what she said to Shep. Yeah, like it's just ridiculous.
And also the way she will go talk to the girls versus how she will talk to the men, the boy. I don't want to call them men, the boys.
Yeah, they're
the males. the creatures with the appendage that she does not possess. Okay. I'm like, I don't even have the proper word for half
they're
of
so
them.
bad. I mean, everyone on the show is so bad, so it's fine.
Rod, we like Rod. I think Rod's a good guy. JT is a messy little bitch, but listen, he's at his heart, I think a good, nice guy. He's messy as hell, but Craig's messy as hell,
Yeah.
So, okay. We are very clearly getting all signs that Bravo wants to give Madison a spinoff. Clearly, they are really, because what else was going on with her? She's not totally fitting in the world, but I think she makes fantastic TV. She's hilarious. She's quick. She's stunning. And I think they want to give her a spinoff whenever she does get that little bun in the oven. Then
I really like her. I would like that. And I almost feel like trying to warm up Brett for TV because he is seemingly like in a lot of scenes for someone who travels a lot and like doesn't talk that much. So I feel like they're trying to like get his feet wet. Like, all right, you're going to be on camera today.
Well, I don't think it's ever really been his thing, obviously, but
yeah, he's pretty normal.
Yeah, Madison was made for this stuff, man.
Yeah,
she really
she's hilarious. I love her.
Can I just talk about how I am like so obsessed with how Paige and Craig are discussing this conspiracy theory of the moon landing, and and Craig eventually says to Paige,
Well, you just don't know anything about thermodynamics,
obviously, because Paige describes the moon landing a live ooh, there is a big old helicopter coming over me. So if y'all hear that, I'm sorry. I'm just making notes for audio as I'm talking. Distract me for just a second there. But when Paige is like, so they were able to stream the moon landing in what, like 1970? Whatever year. Don't come after me about the year. Okay, it's been a long day. By the way, friends, my son has pink eye.
Gross.
I was horrified.
Yeah, it's not what you want your
I've
kid
had
to
a
have
day.
with their fingers touching everything.
So if I'm a little off, it's because I'm terrified of anything with my eye at the moment. Anywho, so whatever year we landed on the moon, but I just love them as a couple. And I know a lot of people do not think they are going to make it. I do.
Yeah, I don't know. I really go back and forth about it. I've talked to you about this. I guess I just can't see either of them adjusting their life. Like I can't see him, even though I think he would try, I can't see him living in New York happily. And then I just can't see her leaving New York. It's going to be a rough situation when the time comes. That's the only reason I can't really see it happening. And she just doesn't seem like, while he's being patient, she doesn't seem like she's ready at all to like even get engaged, which to me is kind of like wild. I'm not saying like every woman's like dying to get engaged.
No.
Like she kind of seemed like she was, like she would be. So just like those things, it kind of just makes me like pause. But I think they're good together. I just don't see where it's going, I guess.
I think if he went ahead and just was like, pop the question with the right ring, I think she'd be like, oh my God, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
if he just did it, who knows what she would say.
Yeah, I think she would just be like, okay, fine. It's a big diamond. I'll do it. They're all getting ready for the party though. And Shep, I don't know. Listen, the man could breathe at this point, and I'm just like, you shut up. Him coming in being like, oh, I'm Dieter from Dusseldorf.
Right. He's constantly saying weird shit. like
to try and seem more elite than everyone else.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. He wants to appear as elite, as well-traveled, well-read as possible. And I'm not saying he is not well-read or well-traveled, but my God, my dude, if you can't even take care of a girl in the bedroom, especially when it's your girl, you clearly aren't reading enough.
Yeah, like get it. You read nonfiction. Like I read fantasy romance novels. So we're just on two different wavelengths. I hate when I probably could work on my vocabulary a little bit, but I cannot stand when people talk and use these like buzzwords and like large words that they know people don't typically use in their day-to-day language. And like that is him and Whitney constantly. Like
him and Schwartz. Those two are they are two sides of the same coin, if you ask me. They really are. I know that there are some.
Well, people say Schwartz is like really smart too. Like he just doesn't seem it on the show, but like people that know him in real life, they're like, oh, he's actually smart. Which like again, Shep's smart too. So yeah, they use these like language to like.
I say they both have a word of the day calendar. That's what I believe. And there's nothing wrong with one, but it's like, it's always like, oh, it's like symbiotic and, just, I don't know. It's just sometimes I'm like, God, I get it. Sometimes when you're trying to search for the word, it doesn't come. And that's apparently your SAT word is the first one that comes to mind. Maybe I'm just jealous. I don't know of Shep and Schwartz. Okay, never mind. The awkwardness of the buildup of Taylor thinking that Shep wants to talk to her at the party and the way it's going to be some way of him wanting to get back together with her. Oh, Jesus, take that wheel from her.
I can't remember. Did he break up with her or did she break up with him?
Honestly, I'm not even entirely certain.
Because I guess I just kept assuming she broke up with him, but now after reading that, I was like, did she? I mean, she certainly gave him like ultimatums and stuff.
Yeah. Well, the breakup, actually, I'm trying to remember. The breakup happened when they went on the trip where he made it seem like he wanted her to do something with their life together more than this. When he said, I want you to quit your job and go travel with me for $15,000. And
Yeah,
she
that
got
was
upset that
awkward.
they were at a 5-star hotel because she supposedly was used to sleeping on a floor in a hut or something on
Yeah,
maybe
that's
like mission
right.
trips or something.
God, that was annoying too, though. Like, enjoy your paid for rich vacation at a 5-star hotel. Like, we're not on a mission trip right now. Like, building homes.
Yeah, it's a different, I mean, but I'm so certain she was probably spreading the word of Jesus while she was
Oh yeah,
eating
we'll
her
give you a
caviar and
house.
filet mignon.
Yeah, I'll give you a house if you do this.
Right.
Yeah, that was really awkward. I forgot about that. Her thinking
Mhm.
he's gonna like propose to her, and he's like, just travel with me.
Oh.
She though like was annoying how I don't like the she just really wanted him to say it would bother him if she dated Austin.
Oh, yes,
And,
yes,
like,
we're getting there.
while
Uh-huh.
oh yeah, sorry. I was
Uh-huh.
like, while I
Yeah,
do think it
we're
would bother him.
yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. She was only looking to bother Shep.
Yeah. But yeah, let's go with the
Yes, Katie
so.
Krall's reaction to Austin saying he thought Olivia was going to apologize to him was all of us. And she, I mean,
Yeah.
she was like, God damn it, this dumbass brother of mine. He is,
She is all of us with him. Like,
his
watching us.
parents are worn out of him. The way they
Mhm.
were like, oh, child, let me get a glass of wine. Forget it. Give me the bottle when he said something happened with Taylor. All of it. It just, they were ready. They were ready to just throw him out the window.
His
Lovingly.
family seems pretty like they don't agree with anything that he does.
No, they're over his shit.
I don't know where he came from, what he's doing. Because normally you see these things. Because even I gotta give it to Taylor's mom too. When she called her like in the last episode, like her mom's like, "Look, you gotta do this." Like, it's interesting to see the parents not just like finally defend the kids, and I appreciate that.
Same. They get to the party. And Olivia basically just pretends Taylor isn't there. And I'm glad for Olivia to not have to pretend she cares about this friendship anymore because it's all out in the open. It's done.
Yeah.
And not a lot happened between the Madison and Patricia scene. They're fun. I like their dynamic. They crack each other up. Listen, friendship knows no age, my friends. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus. And then JT decides to talk to Taylor.
Oh my God. Yeah, this was this poor guy. Although, but I don't like if you see the clips, she knows he likes her and she just keeps giving it to him. So again, she
wants attention.
She needs so much attention by any male. Doesn't matter if she's attracted to him or not. And she needs to stop saying girls like bad boys. Not all girls like bad boys. You do because you're an idiot. like I hate that.
So do I. Yeah, I'm cool with a guy having a tattoo, but yeah, exactly. The difference for her is she thinks a bad boy, honey, Shep is not a bad boy. He's an overgrown, grew up on a golf course prep nerd who happened to be tall and come from family money. He's not a bad boy.
Yeah,
he doesn't drive a motorcycle. He doesn't have tattoos. He's gonna sit there and actually correct the date of the moon landing when someone's trying to have a fun conspiracy conversation. That is who Shep is. He's not a bad boy. He's an asshole. That is the difference.
Yes, with Austin. Austin's just an asshole. He's not in any way like a bad boy, or else I'd probably be attracted to him too. But he's not. He's just a piece of shit.
No, I went to junior high with these guys. Not literally, but like figuratively. Believe me, I know exactly what they were like back then. And in high school, it's the same. Okay.
It's also just like so like oddly immature of her to say that. Like that is something like you would expect someone from like Southern Hospitality to say, or like maybe she's the same age as them. I don't know. I guess
she's older than them. I think she's like a Rachel Leviss age. So it all tracks.
Like, yeah, it's just like past. Like you're an adult. Like that's not like a shtick anymore.
You're over 25. That's really, or actually, let me give it another. You're over 26. Enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So JT tells Taylor she's one of his best friends and brings up how much fun they have. I'm sorry. I get such bad secondhand embarrassment, guys.
Yeah,
like I'm turning red already. And Taylor says that when she needs comic relief, she goes to him. And she keeps referring to their friendship. Our friendship. Our friendship over and over in an attempt to remind him, that they're just friends. Oh my God. And then he tells her he loves her and that he would marry her tomorrow. Oh my God. Okay, Landon. Oh, I'm dying.
It was so bad. So bad. And I'm sure deep down he knew, but then also thought there was like a slight chance.
God
I felt
bless him
bad
with
for him.
his outfit and his 70s hair that was getting all wet. It just wasn't working. And I was like, no, honey, no. And like, but then he kind of annoyed me when she was like, well, we've never crossed that line. And you never know. I could be a psychopath. And he's like, well, clearly you are one since you won't give me a chance, essentially. And it's like, bro, a girl isn't a psychopath because she doesn't give you a chance. She's a psychopath for giving a chance to Austin Kroll just to make Shep Bros jealous. That's where the psychopath comes in. It has nothing to do with you, baby doll.
Right. Like she's definitely a psychopath. Like that's common knowledge. She shouldn't have even said it. It's common knowledge at this point, but it's not because she doesn't want to be with him.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Poor
She
guy.
tells
Well, I mean, again, they were like spitting in each other's mouths on Jamaica. So, like, girl, you gotta reel it in. If you don't want people to like you and ask you out, don't be spitting in their mouth.
What is with Bravo shows, like the people on Bravo shows showing their quote unquote friendship by spitting drinks in each other's mouths?
Oh my
Stop
God.
doing that.
Yeah, for one thing, it's disgusting.
It's
And
so
it's
gross.
like, I don't know. I find it a pretty intimate, like with the opposite sex of someone that they're not attracted to. Like, okay.
No, I wouldn't do that. You and I are good friends, and like I say in real life, whatever. Like this isn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wouldn't go spit a drink in your mouth.
No.
Like, you would kill me first. I would kill
No.
you if you did that to me. I'd be like, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, it would make a mess. No.
No one wants you to do that, and if they do, they'll tell you. Okay, I assume. Please God. Yeah, because in confessional, Taylor's like, I wish I could just wake up and have JT be my person, but I'm just attracted to assholes. What would Jesus do? He would date an asshole.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
She needs to work on that.
Big
I
time.
was with Madison and she said, I forget what she said, basically like you're holier than thou but then you're doing all this shit. And it's like such a, like, she can't be preaching it and not practicing it.
Yeah, it's, because the thing at the end of the day, now, I don't want to get too far into religion. I know that there's been within the Christian culture some of the sexual repression, especially for women. And so, yes, you can still love Jesus, love the principles, be a believer in God and want to uplift that and still go enjoy sex. I don't, any religion you prefer. What the issue is she clearly didn't have an issue lying, which is a big part.
Lied
of
on the
that
Bible.
Yes, that's where I'm like, we can let go of who she's sleeping. I'm not going to sex shame her. What I am going to do is lie shame you.
Mm-hmm.
Would Jesus have lied to Olivia Taylor?
Yeah.
So, of course, Jesus would have told Austin to kick rocks lovingly. So when Shep awkwardly comes and interrupts and asks Taylor to go talk alone. Okay.
That was also, he knew what he was doing with that too. Like he
totally
saw them talking, didn't like that they were talking. So I'm like, everyone on this show, no one can do anything right.
No.
Ever.
That's true. That's true. Honestly, if Olivia had given Rod a fair chance, then that would have been doing something right, in my opinion.
Right.
To be fair. So then Austin goes and asks Olivia to go talk. And when I tell you, I love Vanita so much.
I think
her too. Right. And I love her style. She's
so
so
cute.
stunning. Oh, I just love her. I love that she's like gotten this different confidence with going ahead and being like, she's not going to do it to Austin. Like, I love that she's feeling a little more comfortable. I really like her a lot. But Olivia says she's fine to go. She'll go talk to Austin. I'm just going to focus first on this whole section of Taylor and Shep talking. So Shep insecurely asks Taylor what she and JT were talking about. And then he directly asks her if they hooked up. And she uses the same word over and over with JT that she, with Shep that she used with JT continuously, which was they never crossed the threshold beyond friendship. But also, the reason she's going to deny any hookup with JT is because she knows how Shep looks at JT. She's not going to get under his skin in the way she is dying to get under his skin. JT, he's going to like be like, "Oh wow, that's embarrassing" to her because of how he looks at JT. But if it's Austin, he's going to be like, "That's embarrassing." And another thing, which is what she's looking for.
Right. I mean, he even said in the one episode, if she hooked up with JT, he wouldn't care, but it'd be embarrassing for her. Like,
see, I don't even remember him saying that.
Yeah. It'd be like, why are you doing this?
I mean,
not to her,
so, yeah.
but he did say that. So it's what you're saying. It's definitely accurate.
And I think JT, from what we have seen, we don't know him well enough, but from what we have seen, I imagine JT would treat a woman in his life so well. I mean, we see how he treats his mommy and Poppy Seed.
So there is a TikToker that's an ex-girlfriend. Did you see that?
No.
So I saw it like a week or two ago, and she had some like weird things to say about him. Like, I don't know, like he definitely like moved there for the show. Nothing like,
okay.
I think like nothing like totally bad. Just like he's kind of weird and does weird shit. And so, like, but I don't even care. I mean, obviously if he's like ever like abusive, sure. But like seeing someone finally stick up for the girls and yell at Austin is all I need. Like, tell me about what he does like off the show at another time. Like I need someone to scream, to actually like say what we're all thinking. And at this point, it's JT. So that's what we're given.
JT is like if Lisa Rinna were reincarnated in a small Southern gentleman's body. And I mean gentleman in the kindest way. I do. Whenever Taylor says to Shep, because Shep says, "Oh, you don't ever want to cross the friendship threshold again," obviously regarding Austin. And she's like, "Whatever happened between me and Austin, I don't regret it."
Oh my God. What is wrong with her? Like she's telling Olivia she regrets it. Like, and trying to get her friendship back. She's like, "I regret it. I'm sorry." And then in this scene, I don't regret a second of it. Like she sucks. She just sucks.
She is just so obsessed with Shep. The more he pulls away, the more she's going to chase after him. Do I think Olivia is some diabolical creature? No. But I think she's someone who has reached the point in her life where she has to say, I need to get some talk therapy and work some things out, or I'm going to become a diabolical person. She's getting close to being in that threshold of really needing to do the work, or it's just because she's at this point in your life, that's when you kind of usually start outgrowing it. You know what I mean? Like any of the stupid shit you would do in your early 20s. At least for me, not everyone's journey is the same. But this is where you start going, okay, I've had enough of this or that. I need to make some changes. We're not seeing that because she's going deeper down that hole. Especially, oh my God, when Shep says to her too. Sorry, was there something you wanted to add? I'm just plowing through. Excuse me.
No,
sometimes once I get going, I'm like, and then I get too excited, and then I'm on a roll. Interrupt me if you need
riled up.
You know me. Yeah. You know how I am. When Shep tells her, he just wants to get to this cool place where they're like supporting each other and stuff, and she says that her cool step toward being in that place of support for each other, she says a cool step would be something more. And Shep is so incredulous when he asks her if she's wanting to get back together, and she says yes. The jiggling of his leg is going to start a small earthquake in the middle of Charleston. He's like,
his leg just goes wild every time he's uncomfortable.
It's just like, oh my God. Thank God. I don't know. Like, imagine if they did have a kid, if any difficult conversation, if you had a baby on that knee, that baby would bounce out the window. I don't know why that's all I could think of. Like, I don't know. I imagine little Craig has a little bit more dexterity why is my brain going here? Still thinking about my son's pink eye. Excuse me. It's never going to leave my brain. So Taylor's telling Shep that she's a hopeless romantic, and he literally has to tell her they're over. It's not repairable. And he just wants to know if they can basically be friends, which is going into him saying in code, hey, I want to make sure if I bring a date to an event we are both at, Taylor, you're not going to lose your shit and turn me into a bad guy. That's all he wants to know.
Right. And like he just like I feel like not like he's emotional in so many other ways, but like I do think he probably can be like separate like his emotions and be in the same room as her. And like she just clearly cannot. Like it's just not gonna work, at least anytime soon.
Because he's evolved, Jessie. That's why.
Yeah.
I'm an evolved man, Taylor. I'm sorry. And so with him bringing that up, you can tell it already because he knows she probably would go absolutely apeshit if he brought anyone. And so the look on her face, I cannot believe. She says to him, okay, and what if I want to date Austin?
Has she learned nothing in the last however long it takes them to film this season? Has she learned nothing?
3 months, 4 months?
Like, she knows she's being filmed. She knows everyone's going to watch this. She just said a million times how it was one mistake. She never wants to do it again. And now she's like, well, what if I want to date Austin?
Because she's just dying for Shep to say he cares and that it would bother him, but he's not going to because it does. But he wants to be able to go stick his dingling wherever he wants to without her saying anything. So see my Southern accent coming out. Caitlin, stop it.
Look, I don't like taking the side of any of these men. And while I do know it would bother him if she dated Austin, a part of me was very happy he lied and said, no, it wouldn't bother me because like that was a fucked up thing to say. She clearly just wanted a weird reaction. It's like, again, it's just so like high school. It really is. The behavior to me is so wild. Like it's one thing to like, I get it. We go through breakups and things happen. Like, yeah, you might want to make someone a little jealous. Like not by doing this. Like this is crazy behavior.
Doing this, it's not just a thing of making someone jealous. It's like you're hurting people.
Yeah. More than just Shep. Like at this point, like
you've lost a friendship.
Yeah.
Listen,
she's like, I can't wrap my brain around her. I just cannot. I don't know what she's doing. I don't know. And I don't think she's getting therapy because I think she's dating someone else. She probably went to the next one. She's fine.
Yeah, she's dating a new guy. And you know what? Maybe that leveled her out. I hope hopefully. For her sake it did. Because like I said, I don't think she's actually deep down this bad person. I think she's just making bad choices and decisions and then going back and making them doubling down in the shitty decisions. So, you know. Okay, so Austin and Olivia talking. He was making me nuts. Oh my gosh. We just sound like two angry women bitching about these Charleston men, but I don't care. He just would not let Olivia talk. He would not let her talk.
He wouldn't. He can't help himself. Anytime she was like about to have like a good point, he was just like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's like, shut up. Like, you're shut up.
Close your mouth. I mean, whenever he ends up saying to her that he thought she was going to apologize to him and the look on her face, she's like, what? You thought I was going to apologize to you?
Yeah. Like in what world?
It's wild. And when she says in confessional, oh my God, if you would pull your narcissistic head out of your asshole, you would see I'm going through a few things right now and apologizing to your weird ass is not one of them. I don't know why I love that she called him, said his weird ass. I don't know why.
I know people like, I don't, but like, I know people kind of like poke fun at her and like this will call her like stupid, like the things she says aren't funny. I think she's pretty funny. And I think the things she's been saying in these last few episodes, especially to Austin and about Austin and even to like Taylor, I think she's pretty smart and witty. And like, I like the weird shit she says in those confessionals. Like, I think people think it's like she has nothing else better to say. So she's saying like weird things. Like, I think it's funny. And
I agree.
Point across.
Yeah, I think a lot of people just don't understand some of the Southern colloquialisms and, little sayings, which, if you don't, maybe it does sound extra weird because, when I tell people I'm not blowing glitter up your ass or blowing smoke up your ass, that means that I'm not lying to you to make you feel good. Don't even get me started on all of them. It's a little out of control once you get going. Oh my gosh. So the end of the night in the pub. Oh, poor JT.
Oh my God.
On his knees on the bar stool. And JT spots Austin blowing a kiss to Taylor. So Austin walks up to JT Austin started this shit. I don't care what
Yeah, he
anybody
did.
says. He started it.
He did. Yeah, he knows JT doesn't like love him. Obviously, I'm sure there's tension, but Austin ultimately started this whole interaction.
Completely. By coming over in that suffering succotash voice. Sorry, that was mean, but still. Finally, you're on eye level with me. I did tell you to get on a chair the next time you talk to me, and you did get on a chair to get on my eye level to talk to me.
God,
It is such a low-hanging fruit. It's
right.
such a
Honestly, the short
low-hanging
jokes
fruit.
so stupid. Like, you are not intelligent enough to come up with any other insult for this man that you can't stand other than that he's short. He knows he's short. Or like, again, like you said, it's not even like he's that short. He's just not huge. Like,
He's not a lurch like you boys. It just makes me insane. Oh, but JT calls Austin a snake and a coward. And Austin's
Mhm.
like, okay, this is annoying. Because part of it was funny to me, but also I was like, I also still hate you, Austin, and I hate you even more for saying this. So I don't know how to put it. When he was like, JT, what are you squealing about? He's like he was talking to Katie when they were
I
both
know.
like 8. Like, dude, come on. It was like so just proving the maturity level. Because like the thing is, at the end of the day, Austin is so genuinely infuriating the way he just
Ugh.
continues to poke. Is JT a little annoying sometimes? Yeah. Is he doing too much regarding Taylor and doing the whole like stand up and be a man? Yes, it's too much. But
Mhm.
we've already said he doesn't seem like he's a bad guy. And it seems like these two at the beginning had this like playful ribbing each other relationship, but that no, they actually like hate each other deep down, I think. So it's kind of like, Austin, what are you trying to get out of this? It feels like the taller kid on the playground picking on the smaller
Mhm.
kid. And it just, I don't know where Austin thinks we're going to be on his side with this. And I guess he just doesn't care.
Yeah, I think it's like he thinks it's easy. You know, it's the new guy on the show. He obviously would
Mhm.
like, for one thing, the guys never really came after him as hard as JT is. So he never really had to deal with it anyway. But like, he could never really go after Whitney that much. I mean, Whitney's a producer of the show. I mean, Shep's a staple on the show. Like, JT's just like, he probably thinks he can just go after him, but it's just not landing. It looks really bad. He looks ridiculous. I will say, I need Whitney to stop defending Austin so much. Like, it's weird. Like, even earlier in the season, like, I was shocked he was like defending Austin over Shep in the Taylor thing. So I don't know what's up with Whitney and Austin, but it's weird.
Well, did you notice that? Well, I'll get there, but like after the little fight, after it was broken up, Whitney had his face, his mouth in Austin's ear, being like, calm down, baby. Calm down. And I was like, oh, what are you doing?
Like the creepiest sound ever. I was like,
Polly Char.
It's like, ew.
Yeah. What I think was not most, but one of the more frustrating things is Austin blamed JT for everything regarding Olivia Taylor, saying he was sticking his nose where it didn't belong. No, no, sir. No, sir.
And honestly, like, okay, I'm a big proponent of like, okay, if a girl and guy are fighting, like if a girl's, you know, I don't always subscribe to the idea that like just because it's a woman, the man has to like be a gentleman. Like if someone's pissing you off, they're pissing you off. But these men continuously just yell at these women and like at parties in front of people, like putting them down, like screaming at women. And like he just probably it should put a bad taste in everyone's mouth, if I'm being honest. But like JT's probably is like, what's going on here? Like you're screaming at this lady across the table, like especially in the South. Yeah, like it is bullshit behavior. And it's bizarre. And finally someone's like, a man is finally like, stop talking to the women like this. And they don't like that. So this is how they react.
Pretty much. You know, the thing that brings it full circle is when Austin ends up, and also Taylor's yelling at JT not to go after Austin. Like, Taylor, you are such a traitor. You really are.
And you're the reason this is all happening. So be quiet.
And I appreciated that JT looked at her and said, I will never forget this.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's, I don't think he was being too dramatic.
All season.
Yeah, I don't think he was being too dramatic in that moment because that, like, he is literally there standing up for her. when Austin says in confessional,
Oh, God, this is trigger warning.
trigger warning, if assholes piss you off, he says, "Oh, now I get it. He's jealous of me. JT is so jealous of me. He wanted Taylor so bad, and I get the girl. JT doesn't. Guys like JT don't get the girl. I get the girl." Austin,
Oh my
no.
God.
No.
I don't think you understand, Caitlin, the rage that went through my body. I didn't even know what to feel. I wish I could just meet this man and just give it. I hate him. Like when he said that, I was like, and then I got mad at all the women that like him. I'm like, this is your fault. You give him attention. He's garbage. He's disgusting. Like,
he is a
Oh my
mediocre
God.
white man who you
And
are
his-
only interested in because he's tall.
And he's a smug face that that is like a solid 3 that he thinks is an 11 out of 10. And I don't usually like to go after people's looks, but we can because it's Austin. Okay. But I'm like, you think so highly of yourself. Like, it drove me nuts. I couldn't. Oh my God.
No. And he's the one who pushed JT off the bar
Mhm.
stool. And
Well, and
kept
he's
trying to
lucky
say he started
JT
it.
was like limber because like he was on
Yeah.
his knees. He could have like
Hit his
went
head.
back. Yeah.
Exactly. That's a very good point. Very good point. So when JT came up and like headbutted him, hey, listen, that you don't want smoke, then
Yeah.
don't start a fire.
Mhm. Yeah.
And we don't condone physical violence, but it's like at the same time, people have a right to defend themselves, in my opinion.
Oh,
You don't
yeah.
start it.
Well, it's also really rich that he was like, "Oh, now you're on my level. You have to sit on a stool," but it was so I don't
Quick
know,
to-
then pushes him off of it, like he got under his skin so badly, like he had to physically push him on a stool to get out of his face. I'm like,
Mhm.
you don't make any sense.
No. Yeah, and Austin's like, in 10 years, there has never been physical contact. I'm assuming he means 10 years on the show. He hasn't even
Yeah.
been on the show 10 years, but okay. So yeah, that's we get
Well,
the
it's good because
reunion.
no one stands up to you. This is the
Yeah.
first time. I'm sure if
The
they
only
would
people
have
who
in the
stand up to you are
past,
the
you would've-
women.
Yeah. You probably would have pushed someone else if they did the same thing JT did. He just hasn't been on the show.
Exactly. Okay. So we get the reunion on Thursday. That'll be, I mean, it wasn't as explosive of a finale as I thought it was going to be, but okay.
Do you, because you know the ins and outs of this stuff more than I do you think it's weird that Taylor and Olivia are both in red? Because don't they usually tell them like what color to wear? Or they know what they're wearing? Maybe not with Southern Charm, but like I thought that was so strange. I was like, oh, these 2 women are both in red.
That
Ooh.
is such a good eagle eye point. I am, that's surprising.
I mean, it's very random. It might not mean anything, but I was like, that's bizarre.
I don't think they tell them any type of color scheme necessarily for, say, Southern Charm or Vanderpump Rules,
Mhm.
but I would imagine they try and keep them from wearing the same colors.
Yeah.
So that's a very
yeah.
good point. Very good point.
Guess we'll see.
Uh-huh. So I just want to talk for a second about Beverly Hills. We're not going to do a full recap, but this Erika versus Denise.
Oh God. I mean, I love Denise, but like, I'm like, this is the problem with Denise is that like she does have like she can be mad at them for the way they treated her during her season. Like I loved Denise and I hated how they pushed her out. But the daughter thing, like you're losing us all with the daughter.
She can't even keep her
combo.
facts straight. She
Yeah,
cannot keep her facts straight at all. And wasn't like, so Erika's point at that was that like about her 14-year-olds, what have you, at a table or 2 down at the barbecue. Erika was saying like, oh, come on. If they haven't already had one,
They've definitely know about a threesome. They've got cell
Mhm.
phones. Weren't you in Wild Things? Wasn't that a threesome scene? Isn't their father Charlie Sheen? Didn't he bring a sex worker to Thanksgiving dinner?
that type of thing. She didn't say all of that. But that being said, yeah, it's kind of hard not to be on Erika's side on this because it's like
know.
Denise is just off her rocker on it. It's bizarre.
When they show the flashbacks, like their apology, like I mean, it is like I said, if she wants to bring up how they treated her overall in the season, fine. She's losing everybody with this because it doesn't make any sense
At all. At all.
Mm-mm.
Oh my God. and my pearls, my neck. I was clutching, clawing everything I could when Erika brought up,
Well, tell me this. Isn't your eldest daughter on OnlyFans?
and then
Yeah.
Denise is like, don't you bring up my daughter on her OnlyFans.
I think it's great. I just want to know who's more profitable, you or Sammy?
I was like,
Oh my God. I know. And I don't know where I land on that. It's kind of like a Gia Judas. Like she's an adult.
yeah.
But like I know, I mean, it's
Yeah,
gonna
it's
rub the
tough.
women. It's always gonna rub them on the wrong way for sure.
It really,
As it should.
really is. Oh God. And just want to throw in a reminder, friends, if you've been listening this far, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and give me a 5-star review wherever it is you listen to your podcast. Thank you so much. Moving on. I have to throw that in there.
You always have to.
Mhm.
But of course, Kyle made it about her then at the end of that scene.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Because the thing was too, they were calling Kyle out for being hypocritical when she's like, well, no, I mean, you can't go after the family or the kids. And they're like, well, then why didn't you say that to Erika if that's how you feel? Because it is just like you're saying, it's kind of like a Gia Giudice situation, but Gia is
Mhm.
actually older than Sammy, but
And
Sammy's
Gia's
old
like on the
enough.
show, but
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. I was just talking about that the other day, how it's kind of, I try not to talk about the kids. I kind of view it as one, if they are over, they have to be well over 21 and they have to be earning a paycheck from the show.
Mhm.
And Sammy's not earning a paycheck from this show. She's not on the show right now. So I feel like it's pretty unfair.
Yeah.
But I mean, Denise being like, you are one mean woman.
Damn right I am.
So yeah, she just that back and forth of Denise and Erika with Erika telling her
You were just talking about Aaron's penis just a few minutes before.
and Denise is like, no, I did not.
yeah.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, you're not right.
Yes, 100% I'm right. But anyway, no, you're not. Yes, I am.
Yes.
It was just like
That was amazing, honestly.
that.
They wouldn't let no one let it go.
No. It was so bad. And when then Denise tells Erika, she just deflects all the time. And oh my gosh, Denise really, with their tea sip off, thought she was doing
Mhm.
something here. She says to Erika, really? And you're the one that claims you didn't know that $20 million was deposited in your account? And she's like, boom, bullseye, sip the tea. And Erica's like, and all you hear is Garcelle go, oh shit. And then Kim,
oh my God, Kim. I was so glad Kim Richards was at her face. She was like the whole time.
And she's just like, I'm gonna excuse myself.
Yeah, she's like, I'm actually gonna go. And like everyone's like, oh, okay, bye.
Yes, Kim Richards, thank you. Oh, it
She
was so
kills
funny.
me.
I just then kind of want to go into a little bit of the Dorit and Garcelle. I didn't take a ton of notes
Mhm.
because I didn't really need to.
Yeah.
Here, the issue, and I knew as soon as the word came out of Dorit's mouth when she said to Garcelle that Garcelle attacked me.
Mhm.
Girl, you have actually been like verbally attacked on this show, and this was not one of those moments.
Yeah, she was just like talking.
PSA. Garcelle ends up saying it later in the episode when she has that dinner or whatever that meetup with Dorit was. Don't refer to Black women in the A words. It's not aggressive, attack, or angry. It's a
Mhm.
label. And Garcelle even tried to tell her, I feel like, by saying, I'm not labeling you as anything. But it's
Right.
just Dorit, the tone deafness of how,
Well, my mother's best friend is Black.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's wild to me that like it's one thing to say it and then like catch yourself or be told like, oh my God, like I'm an idiot. Like I'm so sorry. I didn't even like, I'll try to do better. It's wild to me that like Dorit truly must live in such a bubble that she has never even like in 2023 has somehow like never heard of this concept or like probably heard it but just didn't listen of like these stereotypes that we put on Black women, and that you can't say these certain things because it perpetuates it. Like, she acted like
It's
she had never
hurtful.
heard this before in her entire life. And I'm not giving Dorit an excuse. It was just wild to me that she was like arguing with her. And like, I was like, dude, this is like, at this point, common knowledge.
Yeah.
It was bizarre to me.
It was, and it's hard because Dorit just cannot take any type of constructive criticism in any form, and it's like, I think we all would have reacted to it at least slightly different if she'd been like, instead of saying, "Oh, well, what word would you like me to use?"
Yeah.
She maybe a more accurate description of what happened where Garcelle called her out. You didn't have to call me out.
Yeah.
That would be a simple, accurate description of it. And then the only place we see Dorit apologize is in confessional, when clearly she's had time to think about how this is going to look later.
Yeah, the producers were probably like, "Look, bitch, this
With the
isn't looking
random
too hot."
braids in her hair too.
Yeah. It's just
mean-
like, and she could have said it so many different ways. Like when she was like, the word attack, like we use that so much in this group. She could have just been like, "It's just habit, but I'm really going to try to like not use it towards you." Like there are these moments where she could have just been like, "This is why I said it, but I'll make sure it never happens again." Like, I don't know. Like, I really was trying to I liked her. I was really trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, because I do think at the end of the day, she's just so ignorant to all this stuff. And that's not an excuse. She like would not get it. She just did not get anything that was coming out of Garcelle's mouth. And I was like, what? Like, if you would have told me this 3 years ago, like this conversation would have probably meant something a little bit different. Like, it takes people a little bit more time to grasp these concepts, but like not today. Like, we've been through this a million times.
Yeah, I mean, God, I don't know when did segregation end, and how long does it take for someone to grasp that using certain words, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's at the end of the day, if someone just says, "Hey, I don't like it when you use this word. It is triggering to me and it's hurtful to me." If you want to be friends with that person, you don't use the goddamn word.
Yeah, just
Simple.
take it. Be like, "Oh, yeah, like I'm really sorry." Like, she just
It's
wouldn't do
very
it.
simple. So, and again, if Dorit is going to claim innocent ignorance, which is still very infuriating to me, you're on a public platform, you're watching your ass for a lot of things you say, and yet this is one of them you can't.
Right.
It's like, and just like Adam is mentioning here, this has to be mentioned, that Dorit doubled down on Instagram when she put that post up with her family saying that she's happy in her bubble. I'm just happy to be here in your bubble. And so that's where I'm like, and that she put that post out before Garcelle said Dorit lives in a bubble on this last episode. So it was even more so like, she knew obviously that this coming episode was coming, and she truly didn't care. Then she posts another picture with what must be the only woman of color that she is friends with. And it was just like, girl, what the hell?
It's like literally like the stereotypical thing that people do. And it's funny because she got so offended that Garcelle says she has this unconscious Karen behavior. She was like baffled. Meanwhile, she's probably getting, unfortunately, a lot of support from Karens. The only people that are on Dorit's side are Karens. So like,
that's it.
And she just doesn't, she's not getting it. It's so weird.
No,
she's
like,
Garcelle, I'm Jewish. I thought we could be friends.
Like, give me a break. Because listen, no one is saying that, the Jewish community is not marginalized, has not been, especially, I mean, not saying it hasn't been, something happening for so many years, but especially the anti-Semitism that's been happening, recently has just been, it feels like there's been an uptick. So no one was saying that, but also her being Jewish had nothing to do with Garcelle being Black. What it had to do, like if Garcelle had said something that was anti-Semitic, or that could be perceived as anti-Semitic, or that is a word that is hurtful to someone who is Jewish, then it'd be a different conversation. But it's not the same thing. And so if Dorit wanted to have a conversation with Garcelle about something that hurt her, then it wouldn't be about Garcelle being Black, it would be about Dorit being Jewish if it were reversed. And how she just doesn't get that, I don't because the world revolves around Dorit, I think is.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to me. She really, really was not getting it at all. Like,
Never gonna.
no. And like, yeah, I'm glad that comment came through because I totally forgot about the Instagram post. God, come on, Dorit.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I want to
I
like
think
these people. Like, I want to
know.
like you.
I
You're
was
awful.
You know, they can do things that make us enjoy them, and then we forget the shitty things that they did, and then they remind
I
us of the shitty
know.
things they did by doing more shitty things, and then we're like, God damn it. You were that person. So, but it's part of the whole thing where we love, hate, and love to hate so many of them.
Yep, exactly.
Jessie, tell everyone where they can find you as we wrap up here.
I am Reality Witch or Jessie Nails on TikTok and Instagram. I am going to start recording my podcast again very soon. I took a break, but just look me up on TikTok. That's where you'll see most of my stuff.
Mm-hmm. And again, subscribe to YouTube, hit the notification bell. I am going to be doing more lives and more things on here the more I see that it's something y'all want to enjoy. That's really what this is about. I want something that you all are enjoying and entertained by.
Yeah, this was fun.
I'm so glad you were here, Jessie. We're gonna probably be texting all through the night during the or not finale, the reunion of Salt Lake City.
Yes.
Oh my
We have
God.
to.
Yeah, please. It's going to be insane. Leave 5-star reviews. I used to say 4 and above, but no, you know what? I am reaching for the stars and I want there to be 5.
Yeah, you're not
I
going to leave a
appreciate it.
5 out of here.
Yeah, it's just appreciated. All right, my friends, I will see you all on Thursday for another live stream at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard, 12:30 Pacific. I do believe Giorgio will be with me to do the Salt Lake City reunion. We might do more
Nice.
masterpiece theater. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I think it's for our owner to entertainment at that point.
Yeah, it's for
But,
ourselves at that point.
Yeah, it's, Okay. Bye, friends.
Bye.